So here we are at Fortress Franklin's Gardens with Ben Foden of England and the Northampton Saints. Ben, start of a new season. You must be very excited. You've even grown a beard. That's how excited you are.
Not really.
And not just about Northampton, but obviously England, because the last time we saw you play, you were beating the Wallabies in Australia.
Obviously, I'm looking forward to the new season and you know the tasks that are set in front of us. Obviously, we've got a lot to prove as a club. Obviously, coming a little bit too short last year and losing those two last Viking games that would have put us in the final. But we need to prove to ourselves and our fans and followers that Northampton Saints are a team that are going places, and we want to be at the top of the league come next year, and hopefully we'll take one step further and be taking home some major silverware. Just
as a very, very important tangent, Ben, you just can't be bothered to shave, or what?
Yeah, basically. Mrs. hasn't given me too much of a stick, really, so just thought I'd let it grow for a bit. I'll shave before the game, don't worry.
Really?
Training, yeah, I didn't want to...
Isn't it normally the other way round? Don't you not shave for the game?
Something like that, yeah.
But you actually get to have a shave before the game?
Yeah, well, I'm a back, so I'm not one of these forwards who sticks my head in places I'm not supposed to be, so I'll be alright. I'll look nice and neat for the game.
Okay, well that's
part of the game for me, you know. Half the job's looking good.
Yeah.
Looking good, feeling good, and then you play.
Really? Well, just for those who don't know, Ben's referring to Una Healy, who is Ben's partner and lives with him, and also happens to sing and play and dance for the Saturdays, who are getting pretty big.
Pretty big, yeah.
As a group, I mean, are you in danger of becoming Mr. Una Healy, or is Una in danger of becoming Mrs. Ben Foden?
I'm always that guy, or the guy who holds the bag next to Una, or holds the door open for it. So there's no danger of me becoming a well-known figure. Yeah.
It's funny actually, because that's absolutely true, and that's very modest of you to say so. Yeah. And then Sportsvibe came along, and
that's it. We took off.
Well, we interviewed you, and you did an acoustic version, didn't you, of Ego? And since then, you're now established England rugby player, and Una's a major pop star.
Yeah, I think that the singing is what did it for me. I think.
For you, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. The coaches must have seen it and just thought, oh, he's got a good voice. He must be a good rugby player.
Yeah, I heard. I mean, between you and me, I'm not going to name names, Martin Johnson, but they had a meeting, and they just couldn't. There was no difference between you and about 2 or 3 other fullbacks. So then it just boiled down to other attributes.
Yeah, and singing sort of topped it for me.
Yeah, the singing won it. Yeah. So we seem to digress as usual. Here we are at Franklin's Gardens, and this is where the scene of great success for you, Ben. And you know, had a great season last year in Northampton. Just, I guess, slightly fell off at the end, didn't you? And I guess you want to put that right this time.
Yeah, definitely. We're very disappointed, and if you could come into the changing rooms after the final whistle went in that second game, you know, we sort of had 2 bites of the cherry, so to speak. You know, we all would have been forgiven if we'd won the second one and gone to the final. However, things didn't turn out that way, and we were pretty livid and gutted that the result didn't go away, and we didn't get to go and take on Leicester, you know, at Twickenham, and had our fans go down there and support us there. And it is pretty frustrating, especially when you play such a long and heavy season, and you work so hard to get yourselves in that. And we did everything right, apart from take the final step, so to speak.
Keep things in perspective. 3 years ago, you weren't even in the Premiership, and then 2 years ago, you consolidated very much. Last season, you did win a trophy, for goodness' sake.
Yeah.
After all, and you finished third in the actually second, didn't you, in the Premiership regular
and
league?
We won more games than any other team as well.
So I mean, you were very, very close. So if you continue an upward trend in terms of improvement, there's not much further to go, is there?
I know, but like you said before, it is literally a matter of inches right at the top. You know, coming first or second, there's a big difference at the end of the day, but it is literally a game of inches and a game of narrow margins. And you've forgotten if you come second, but you remembered if you come first, and that's what Leicester have been very good at over the last 10 years of the Premiership. They've always been a team that have been involved in either European Championship finals or Premiership finals, and that's where we need to get to, and that's sort of going to be our benchmark. I think over the next couple of seasons as a club, we want to be making sure that we're involved in the Heineken Cups. We're through to the knockout stages, and we're a top 4 side every year, and that's what we've got to aim for, and that's what we want to do as a club, and I think that's where Northampton deserve to be.
And on the England front, of course, you've come back from Sydney, having beaten Australia for only the 3rd time in England's history. It wasn't just that you deserved the result. I think you needed the results as well, didn't you, Ben?
Yeah,
because you played well sporadically, but you hadn't shown what you knew you could do.
Yeah, and I think we needed the win, but most importantly, we deserved the win. I think that if we'd have lost that game, and it was very close, but it always is at the top. But if we'd have lost that game, it would have been unjust. I think that we did play the better rugby in that second test, and we deserved to win the game. Same could be said about the first game. I think that Australia played all the rugby, and they deserved the win that they got. But like again, I said, we didn't play our best rugby that day, but it still was very close at the top.
There was one big downside to winning in Australia, of course, and it was the fact that Chris Ashton scored a try. Now, over the summer, I saw you in Sydney, and he accused you of a lot of things, including wanting him to draw his bed up close to you so that you can sleep nearer together. Right. And then he went and scored a try as well. And I just think it's only fair that I should point that out to you.
Yeah, well, the only difference is I wasn't there to pass him the ball to set up his try, but I managed to sniff one out on his own. The bed drawing together, he's just scared of the dark, so he needs comforting, and he can say what he wants, but we both know the truth there, that I've got to sort of pat him on the head and say everything's going to be okay. He hadn't scored a try for a couple of games for England as well. He was a little bit scared, turned to me for a bit of advice. So.
It was unusual him scoring a try without you anywhere near him, because presumably, what are you saying? 95?
I was actually standing on the wing, and right. I thought he dropped it as well.
Yeah. Did he drop it, you think?
Well, no, he didn't drop it. He scored it. But
do you hope he dropped it?
Where I was standing, I was sort of like, what's he doing? Because it looked like he was diving a bit early, but...
He's probably looking for you, because aren't 95% of his tries really sort of set up by you?
Exactly, yeah, but he didn't need to thank me, so he went off and did the Alan Shearer with the finger point, which is quite ironic, because he turned and said to me that he liked Newcastle as well, football team, which is a bit random.
But anyway, hopefully he and you can enjoy a great 9 months ahead with Northampton and England, and meanwhile Una goes from success to success with the Saturdays.
Yeah.
She's got a single out at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's just gone out. Yeah, it was out a couple of weeks ago. It's number 3. They've got a new one coming out in about 4 or 5 weeks' time.
Really? That's pretty quick going, isn't it?
They bang them out once they've done the one, because they've released the album now, so they bang 3 out in the space of a couple of months. So this next one will be pretty big, though. You have to look out for it.
Do you want to name it? Are you allowed to name it?
Yeah, it's called Higher, and I'm not sure when it'll be out in the next 4 or 5 weeks. It's featuring Flow Rider, so...
Is it?
Yeah, it'll be a good one.
And what about that well-known duo, just to finish this illuminating interview, that well-known male-female combo, Benuna.
Is retired, sad to say.
Is this an exclusive?
Exclusively retired, yeah.
Seriously?
I refuse to work with her anymore, she's unbearable.
Were there creative differences?
Yeah, she wanted to practice, which I was all against. I was more of a freestyle kind of guy.
Well, you do realise this is up there with Sonny and Cher, the Carpenters.
I know, but we get compared.
The Eurythmics.
I think that we should finish on the high that we set, and we started to argue and all sorts of stuff, and it got unbearable in the workplace. So can't mix, home and work. You've got to keep them separate. So I'm step down. I think I was showing her up a little bit.
I'm sorry to hear that, and an awful lot of music fans will be gutted. And to be honest, I don't even know whether I can put this out, because our offices will be firebombed. It'll be like when Take That split up, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, I might look to do some solo stuff in the future, when my piano lessons kick in.
I know. Also, I'm really upset for Una, because that's probably her career over now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Well, sadly, the Saturdays are sort of off the back of Benuna, so...
Yeah.
She's a little bit crushed, but she's got other things, I hear she's a good sewer.
Right.
So she'll go into that sort of career. She used to work in a hospital before she's in the Saturdays, so she's got other things to fall back on.
Yeah. Go back to nursing, can't she? Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Good. Well, I'll leave you to explain this interview to her. I'm going to make sure I'm nowhere near her when she sees this. And it's been good to see you, Ben, as always. And we'll catch up with you during the season.
Cheers, thank you.